He's her classmate, whose name is Takamori, and she knows his deep dark secret. And that secret is, he has a huge crush on her. Now, how could she possibly know that? The reason being, since she was little, she can hear people's minds. You could say this gift is actually a curse, because society thinks of her as a useless human being. Luckily, it didn't have any underlying trauma issues, and it made her have a strong heart. So it's safe to say that it doesn't bother her anymore. But this changed ever since she got seated next to Takamori. She can read his mind, where he thinks Minami is cute as always. Can he please just shut up for once? Takamori is an introvert, but he's quite popular with the girls due to his looks. It's confusing since his personality is so bland when it comes to romance. He bluntly said thanks to a girl giving him a gift. Minami realized that in her entire life, no boy has ever said that she's cute to her. At least not when she's reading their minds. Jesus Christ, Takamori. Can he restrain his libido and not think of embarrassing thoughts while next to her? Her intense stare caught his attention, but she quickly retreats upon noticing that. Then, Takamori accidentally dropped his eraser. Minami noticed it, and grabs it for him, since the eraser is closer to her table. When she returned his item, Takamori gazes into her eyes, while thinking that Minami's face is so close to him, which completely caught her off guard. To think that she's willing to use all that energy just for a nobody like him. She's like a goddess. She's just too kind. I just love her so much. Minami's face suddenly turned red like a tomato. She's speechless when being confronted with such daring words. Takamori realized that he may have looked into her eyes for too long. Hopefully, she doesn't think of him as a creep. Minami doesn't know what to do with her hands. That's it, I can't take this. This is too much for a wholesome girl like her. Why is he so straightforward when it comes to expressing his thoughts? While she's busy cooling down her body temperature from the previous interaction, Takamori thinks that he should make the eraser as an heirloom, since it's been touched by her. Minami has an altered version of him. When he said that she's cute, he looks so dashing. When he confessed his love, he's shining like the sun. At this rate, she could literally die of embarrassment. This isn't the first time that this happened. Back in kindergarten, she fainted because of embarrassment due to the teacher patting her head. On second thought, I think it's a she problem. She's always been naturally weak against compliments and compassion for the majority of her life. She's always been backstabbed and secretly mocked by others. So these rare instances will deal more lethal damage than getting called names. To be fair, he didn't consent in letting his thoughts leak out to her. Minami is the one who read his mind without him knowing. She also feels bad for him due to her power. She usually can just empty her mind like a monk and filter out the words that wander around her brain through training and practice for years. But this guy is built different. This is what we call an incel. She prefers to be insulted and hated rather than getting praised so much. It's much easier for her to take in. Wait a minute, what if she tries to make him hate her? That could work, and her high school life can finally be peaceful again. Yeah, that's right. If he were to badmouth her, she can just ignore him just like any other person. However, how is she gonna do that? She can't just blatantly say that she hates him without any reason whatsoever. Then, Takamori asks Minami if he can see the teaching materials since he may have forgotten to bring his book. She says that she doesn't mind in them sharing. Oh yeah, this might be the perfect chance. Minami quickly retracts back her statement and says that she won't show him the study materials. Hopefully this goes to plan. How's that, loser? A pretty girl just broke your heart, since she doesn't even dare to go near you. With this, Takamori will think she's just a petty girl. Now, he'll definitely hate her, and then she can study in peace. On second thought, it does suck to be a villain and it's gonna be awkward since it's just beside him. She quickly takes a peek, worried that she might have taken things too far. However, Takamori still thinks that she looks too cute. What the hell? It has no effect? Takamori thinks that it's rare for Minami to act that way, so he will treasure this memory forever. Wait, what? He just said okay? In the end, she apologized and lended her textbook. He's so excited to see this many sides of her in just one day. Could he just take the goddamn book and leave her alone? Just shut up already, will ya? Then, in the woman's restroom, she needs to take a breath after everything that just happened. Why is this happening to her? What did she do to deserve this treatment? How dare he has the nerve to compliment her? Minami escaped to the toilet to cool down her head. She's never met a person who's that obsessed with her before. Eventually, he's gonna make her go crazy if this keeps going on. She needs him to hate her, or not, her head will actually explode. Currently, she's extremely embarrassed and is on the verge of death. Looks like she has no choice but to go all out. There's only one thing left to do. On top of the school building, Minami suddenly calls out to Takamori alone. He said that it's okay, but in his mind, he's living in the moment. He will ingrain this very moment into the retina of his eyes. What could she possibly want to discuss with him at the rooftop alone? Minami wants to know his opinion. What does he think about her? If the cliché is correct, She should force him to confess to her, then brutally reject him, which will ultimately make him have a mental breakdown. Thanks to all those romance movies, this will be a success. I mean, it's not like she hates him or something, but she needs to put her sanity first. I mean, it's fine if he said he hates her, but is she really fine with that? Instantly, a whole essay as long as the book Shakespeare written is traveling at light speed in his brain. His entire face is flushed. He loves her, he thinks that she's precious and should be protected at all costs. Not only that, she's so freaking cute. One could die from her cuteness. Minami's brain started to short-circuit. Oh no, she's seeing the stars. Then she falls to the ground after being overloaded with positive emotions. Takamori wants to know if she's okay and offers a hand to help her get back up. She's barely conscious at this point. Mark my words, one day, she'll make him shut the hell up. On the outside, she said that she's dying, which made him confused. To recap, she has a condition where she can read people's minds. You could say that this is a curse, since everyone seems to hate her. At the age of 16, she became used to it since it's been a daily occurrence. She can just effortlessly ignore all of them. After all, the voices in her head are just empty words if she doesn't take it to heart. With that mindset, she could be a politician. Then on one particular day, she greeted Takamori early in the morning. As always, he thinks that she's really cute today as well. Minami still can't get used to him. Why does the first thing that goes inside his puny brain of his is to think that she's cute? He's so annoying as usual. She's gonna die of embarrassment at this point. She would rather for him to absolutely despise her and call her various names, then get showered with relentless compliments. She needs to think of an idea in making Takamori hate her quickly. Or not, she's gonna have a stroke at just a young age. The class bell rings, and she's tired after another session of hearing his honest thoughts. During the entire class, he's been thinking of her non-stop. It's like he doesn't have any mental fatigue. How could one boy be that determined? The table is drenched from the sweat on her face. She wants to make a hasty retreat. She can't even walk properly anymore. She continues to walk, but her body is lighter than usual. Wait a minute. She rushed back into her classroom. Why did she have to forget her bag out of all the days? This has never happened before. It's all his fault. If only he didn't think of her, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. When she sliced the door open, she saw Takamori still at his table. She's curious of why he's still in class. School is over now. He says that the teacher entrusted him to grade the tests. Are you kidding me? What kind of teacher puts such trust and burden onto just one student? She thinks that it's unfair and wants to offer her help. But she stops midway. Wait, if she helped him, he's gonna say some really embarrassing stuff again. And then she'll meet God. Minami made her decision to just leave him be, even though her entire body is shaking from guilt. Minami quickly grabs her back and leaves, while apologizing profusely in her mind. With this, he'll surely think of her as another one of those nice people who will just leave you behind. Outside the classroom, she immediately stops. She thought that she finally conquered the voices in her head, but she's still weak as ever. Why does he have to sit beside her? Then, she hears Takamori thinking of her. He thinks that she's a nice person, despite her just leaving him there. Wait, what? This doesn't make sense. She's used to people bad-mouthing her, but it's the opposite somehow. Takamori is grateful that she would even speak to him. For someone as boring and plain as him, she's a really nice person for taking the time to be worried about him. Minami stands at the corridor, not knowing what to say. For once, she doesn't feel embarrassed, but feel more comfortable and happy. Her legs gave in, and thinks that he's also kind. She feels guilty for just leaving him there alone. Maybe she could still help him in grading the test. No, she can't do that. Imagine if she goes to the hospital after this. She runs away before she regrets and go back to him. In the end, the guilt got the best of her, and she returned. She thought that maybe she could finish grading faster before she faints again. Meanwhile, Takamori really thinks highly of her for staying up with him. Could he just shut up and get on with his work already? When the pen is out of ink, she asks him if he has an extra pen. He gave his other pen, and when she grabs it, they made physical contact. Minami instinctively retreats her hand after realizing that she suddenly touched him without his consent. However, Takamori is completely fine with that. Instead, he won't wash his hands till the day he dies. See, I fucking knew it. God damn it, man. Her body temperature is rising rapidly. Oh no, she's gonna lose consciousness. Due to extreme embarrassment, she accidentally fell to the ground. Yep, she's definitely going to die at this rate. Why is the entire classroom spinning around her? Takamori is worried since she suddenly got on her knees. Don't act that way, this is all your fault. She still doesn't understand on how could he still have that poker face on. The thoughts in his head are wild, but it's like he's not embarrassed at all. How is that physically possible? How come she's the only one who's on the receiving end? It's not fair. This is only because he never confessed himself, but at the same time, she can't just say that she outright hates him, knowing that they're both alone in the classroom. This time, she's gonna force him into a confession. She shouted his name at the top of her lungs. Does he like her? Her face is flushed and she can barely make eye contact even though her voice is really loud. Takamori's eyes lit up, as if something within him just awoken. He starts to look away. Takamori isn't good when it comes to expressing his honest thoughts. Minami wants him to hold his thought for a moment. She can't handle it. Minami is embarrassed from what she just said. No matter what his answer is, she's gonna end up in the hospital. She wants him to forget that this situation ever happened, and she says her farewell. She slammed the door closed while leaving Takamori behind. His body language begins to change to his honest feelings. What on earth just happened? Who could have thought that she thought of him that way? It surprised him. Whenever he's with her, he feels like his heart is about to explode. She quickly walks to her home, while thinking that she made a life-changing move just now. What the hell is she thinking? Inside the shower, she can't help but still remember about the incident. Even when she's about to go to sleep, the memory is already ingrained in her brain. Is this even real life anymore? She said an outrageous thing to Takamori. She got carried away in making him hate her, but it only did the opposite. How on earth will she face him in school tomorrow? It's not like she can ignore him because he's sitting right beside her. This is a blunder. Now, he'll think that she's a person who's overly self-conscious. This is so embarrassing, to think that she's the one who will cause her own demise. Minami rolls around her bed, not knowing what to do with the random jolt of energy. Now, she can't help but think of Takamori in her sleep. On the next day, she can't even get an ounce of sleep last night. Now, how can she face Takamori with a straight face? I don't even care anymore. Whatever happens today just happens. Minami got startled when she heard the chair being pulled back next to her. She can't even make eye contact, but she still greets him a good morning. However, Takamori is just like his cool self as usual. It's like everything that happened yesterday didn't occur. Wait, what? Maybe she's the only one who's overthinking it. He seems to be back to normal. I mean, he's always normal. However, when she read his mind, he's in the exact same predicament as hers. He can't even get a wink of sleep last night, and now, he can't even make eye contact with her. Why did she say that yesterday? He's really curious now, but there's no way he's gonna bring that up again. Looks like her suspicions were accurate. Of course you'll also think that way, dummy. Takamori wonders what did she mean by that. The first major incident is the rooftop. She asks what he thinks about her. Don't tell me. Did she know that he liked her? Minami, in fact, did know from the start of the semester. Is his love for her so strong that it managed to leak outside his brain? No, this can't be. It doesn't make sense. Judging from his previous encounters, everyone thinks of him negatively. So it's impossible that she would make a conclusion that he's in love with her. I mean, it's not like she can read minds. Minami then begins to get startled after hearing that. Please don't tell me he figured it out. Takamori thinks there could be one other possible reason. Is he grinning so hard just in front of her? Oh no, now she's gonna think that he's an actual weirdo. This is bad. He doesn't want to make her feel uncomfortable. He's only going to think about it in his mind, which is exactly the main reason of why she's been acting that way. In the school courtyard, she's having her physical lesson. She feels like she's been running around in circles. There's no progress to the relationship at all. If only she can read minds, and if only she's not weak to positive comments, then she can live her high school life peacefully. There's no use in controlling in what other people think about her, so it can't be helped. But she won't give up in making him hate her. She needs to think of an effective way to make him despise her before she dies of embarrassment. Then she tripped on a huge rock. Oh crap. She facepalmed headfirst onto the concrete. Today is just not my lucky day. Does the gods hate her that much? On top of her annoying mind-reading ability? The teacher wants to know if she's alright. Luckily, she didn't have any big injuries. The teacher wants to know if there's anybody who can take Minami to the nurse. But she quickly puts on a facade that she's okay and that she can go there by herself. The teacher worries if she's lying in order to not burden anyone. That was really close. She doesn't want to pester anybody. She can read all of their minds. All of them are reluctant in helping her, so she would feel scared if one of them suddenly bullies her. She's used to taking care all by herself. This outcome is better. Even without her mind reading, she can already tell that they dislike her. Minami then falls to the ground again after twisting her leg. Maybe she should have just let anybody help her. But it's too late now. This has been her way of life from the start. Luckily, no one is present to see this embarrassing moment. She begins tearing up when realizing that she's all alone in this world. Suddenly, someone calls out her name. It's Takamori. He's worried about her condition and why she suddenly begins to cry. Is she really okay? Her face lightens up when finding out the person worries for her health. She tries to hide her face and wonders why Takamori is here in the first place. Shouldn't he be in class now? He actually quickly went to check her condition since he heard that she got injured during class. But if he says that, he's sure that she would get angry at him. Takamori just straight up lies and says that he forgot something in the classroom. Takamori worries about her injury since it's getting worse. Minami tries to hide her feelings and says that she's fine, and there's nothing to worry about. It just so happens that he's comfortable sitting on the ground here. She wants him to go back in class, or not he'll get told off by the teacher. Suddenly, he grabs her arm. He's determined to bring her to the nurse's office since she doesn't look fine to him. Nani? What just happened? My heart is going to explode. Takamori is the type who acts without thinking, especially when in a serious situation. She begins to see stars again. I don't want to be physically and mentally injured. Takamori then went down on his knees, offering to carry her. Wait, what? Is she seeing things now? What the hell is this situation? When it comes to protecting his loved ones, Takamori has no malicious thoughts, but just the urge to protect. To think that she's getting carried by a boy classmate, she could never predicted this situation in her lifetime. This is so embarrassing. It seems like every day, something new is going to happen. She tried to make excuses by being worried if she's too heavy to be carried, but he says that she's very light to him. Please just get me down now. This can be dangerous. If she reads his mind now, she's definitely gonna faint on his back and be an even bigger burden. She tries to close her ears in an attempt to block all voices coming in her head. Takamori thinks that it's impressive that she doesn't want to bother anyone, even though it might be better just to let someone help her for once. Sometimes, she can also overdo things. Wait a minute, this is the first time that he had a different thought than thinking that she's cute. Takamori just wishes that she relies on people more. He would be honored if she can rely on him. If that happens, he would feel genuinely happy. Minami feels a weird emotion in her heart. It's not a bad feeling, but a warm one. Then, Takamori suddenly asks if she has a fever since her body temperature has been steadily increasing over time. Minami just wants him to hurry up. In the infirmary, Takamori told her to stay still while he calls over the nurse. She calls out his name. Minami thanked him for his kind gesture, since he's the only one who cared for her. She even offered to pay back his help by carrying him if he gets injured next time. Takamori doesn't understand what she means by that. Minami tries to flex her muscles and says that she's stronger than she looks. She may look skinny, but she can easily carry him in a princess style. How about that? She can repay the debt and simultaneously make him feel gross of her, since no guy wants a girl who emits that much masculinity at such a young age. Minami tries to assert that she has a weird personality. However, this didn't make any difference, since he thinks that part of her is also cute. Her mind then explodes from that compliment. When the nurse came, she wonders if she has a fever since it's really high. On a sunny day of school, Minami calls out for Takamori. She wants to have his phone for just a moment. For some reason, he doesn't mind and lends it to her, even though he feels that something is up. She quickly fidgets on his phone while he stares at her blankly. She then gave him his phone back. After that, she wishes him goodbye as she's about to leave the classroom. What on earth did she do with his phone? It's really confusing. Why did she suddenly ask for his phone? Wait a minute, what's this? Out of his 4 contact number, that being his only family, he finally have his first friend on the list. What did he do to deserve this? Minami giggles to herself while making her hasty retreat. It looks like she doesn't mind him now. Or does she? What exactly is she planning to accomplish? When she arrived at her doorstep, she giggles to herself. Finally, she got his contact info. With this, she can spam him loads of stickers and annoy him with constant phone calls. That's right, who's laughing now, Takamori? He's gonna wish that he never added her, and then he'll get so annoyed that he won't even get the energy to annoy her at school. For once, he can finally shut up. This is a foolproof plan. This isn't gonna backfire and makes him think that she wants to be his girlfriend. Now, her peaceful high school life will return. Minami continues to giggle to herself with a narrow-minded thinking. Without further ado, let's annoy the heck out of him. In his home, he received a message from Minami. She told Takamori that she just got home. Takamori isn't used to receiving messages other than his own family members. 30 minutes later, she wonders when he'll respond. I mean, it's about time for him to absolutely despise her. Then 1 hour later, he still hasn't responded to any of her messages. Is he even home yet? 2 hours later, she begins to wonder if he forgot to check his phone or if he just ignored her. She can't help but wonder of what he's up to. Is he asleep or something? Wait a minute, he left her on red. How dare him to have the audacity to just ignore his only friend? Why would he do that to her? He sits right next to her in the classroom, so what the hell is he doing? It's not like she cares about him or anything. But why did he leave her on read? She's worried that she might annoy him. But wait, wouldn't that actually be achieving her goal in the first place? If only he's here, she can read his mind. Minami doesn't know of what he's thinking. Meanwhile, on the other side, he's happy to see that she's texting him for the first time. To think that a day like this would come. Praise the gods at above. So now, how will he respond to her messages? Should he act casual and say that he also got home himself? But isn't that too plain? What if she got the wrong idea and thinks that he doesn't like her? Should he add smiley faces and signs to make sure that he got his emotion conveyed correctly? Wait a minute, that's even worse. He's gonna seem like a complete creep who doesn't even know how to initiate the conversation. Think, Takamori, think. What's the absolute best way to respond to her message without being like a creep and still being happy and respectful? Then, she got startled by the sound coming from her phone. About goddamn time that he responded, that son of a gun. However, he just replied with one sticker. Are you kidding me? She waited hours just for a single sticker to be sent? It feels like he's the one who's playing with her. He's already trying to end the conversation, even though she haven't even sent that many messages yet. I mean, she should be happy. On the other side, Takamori became depressed since he has zero texting skills and can't articulate his thoughts properly. He places down his phone. Let's just think for a second. Why would Minami want to message with someone like him? The only thing they're connected is the sitting position in the classroom. Other than that, they're only classmates. It's not like they had a deep conversation before. Takamori thinks that someone as plain and boring as him can't be exciting to talk to. If only his social skills are better, but he still has a bad habit of thinking that it's impossible for him. Then his phone started ringing. It's already this late. Why does she suddenly want to call him? Is it an emergency or something? Did his mom call him by mistake? But then he noticed. It's Minami. Okay, breathe in and breathe out. You got this. Just act natural and have the same tone of voice as normal. Minami is excited that Takamori picked up her call. She's curious that he hasn't replied to her messages in a while, so she called him instead. Why exactly did he leave her on red? Takamori tried to apologize, since his communication skills are in the recycle bin. She tries to laugh it off, and says that she understands if he's busy. Takamori doesn't know how to continue the conversation. The atmosphere quickly became awkward when the flow of the talking stopped. Somehow, the conversation went to a halt, even though they're only calling each other. How is that even possible? If this was in person, she can usually tell what's on his mind. She actually imagined him to be more talkative, judging from the amount of imagination in his brain. It turns out that in reality, he's like a lone wolf who doesn't talk a lot. It's kind of cool, but sometimes troublesome. Minami wants to continue talking since she was the one who called him in the first place. She told Takamori to take a glance outside. He slides the door to his balcony open. What could there possibly be outside? It's a rare sight of a full moon. It shines brightly in the night sky. And with the lights in the city, it gives a romantic vibe. She thinks that it's really beautiful and wonders if he can see it on his side as well. To think that he's on the phone with Minami while looking at the same moon as her, there's a lot of things that he wants to say, but he can't just conjure up what he thinks into coherent sentences. It's really frustrating. If only he could properly say what's on his mind, he would have been happier. In the past, he feels exhausted from daily school activities. But then he noticed Minami helping out an old lady. He can't help but just look in her direction. His eyes can't seem to look away. At that exact moment, he had his first true love. Come on, you can do this. Takamori then responds to Minami. He says that, the moon is beautiful, isn't it? This made her heart open to him. In Japanese context, this can also be translated to I love you. Wait, what? Did he just say what she thinks he said? She began to lose the strength in her arms and accidentally lets go of her phone, where it drops to the ground. That startled her. What could he mean by that? Get your mind out of the gutter. He meant the moon is beautiful, not that poem, where he means it's her. Sometime later, he's surprised that she suddenly hung up. Then, his little sister is curious as to what he's doing outside. It turns out that she was listening to their conversation, and she wonders if that's his girlfriend. He rejects it, but he did say that the moon is beautiful, like in the poem. Doesn't that actually mean I love you? Oh, shit. Well, funny story actually. Fuck! Now he really have done it. This explains why Minami suddenly hung up on him. God damn those Japanese literature. His sister thinks that it isn't respectful to say that to a girl when he doesn't actually mean it, even if it was on accident. Takamori then regains back his composure and says that he does actually love her. On the next day, Minami is feeling a high jolt of energy when remembering back to what he said last night. Don't worry, I'm sure Takamori already forgot that everything that happened before. She greets Takamori as usual, but is feeling really hot. She keeps on mumbling on random things. Minami tried to pull out the entire dictionary. She pulls out excuses like there was no tomorrow. Just please let all those memories go to the bin. She wants Takamori to forget what happened last night. With a cool temper, he just said alright. It seems like Takamori is still being his normal cool self. He should be happy that it wasn't a confession like she thought last night. But then, he wants to make it clear that he has feelings for her. Wait, what did he just say? He begins to blush as he can't take back what he said anymore. So that means it was actually a confession after all. She instantly fell to the ground. Her bodily functions isn't working anymore. The next exciting arc is about to start. In cooking class, she wants the students to form groups and start making curry. She has a worried look on her face, since she still can't get that memory out of her mind. Why did he want her to remember back then? Is it really a confession? But he didn't explicitly say I love you, so there's no reason to think about it anymore. Then, someone grabbed her attention. He wants to help her in cutting the vegetables, since it could be dangerous. She begins to self-destruct and the other students look towards her direction. She fell over again, and all the utensils are on the ground. Her classmate wanted to know if she's okay, to which she says that she's fine. She can't help but be really conscious of him. She cuts the vegetables while closing her eyes due to her embarrassment, which caused her finger to get sliced by the knife. She felt pain from accidentally cutting her own finger. Takamori worries for her. Did she get hurt in any way? She puts her hands up in the air and says that she's fine. It's not like a big deal or anything. However, Takamori already knows her habit of hiding her pain, so he tries to apply a bandage on her. She still can't get used to this. After a while, the bleeding has stopped. He told her to be more careful next time, since he's concerned for her safety. Knowing her clumsy nature, something is bound to happen again. Minami can't reply, as her bundled up emotions have taken over her mind. She takes a deep breath, and now is even more energetic than before in making the curry. She pours all the sugar in the bag into the soup, which caused it to go into flames. The food is burning. Someone in the classroom, please just stop her from doing anything else. That woman is going out of control. In the end, she created something that's kind of edible, I would say. This is the result of her rebellion. Now for the taste test. As expected, you can even barely chew on the food. He suddenly felt full after eating one spoon of her meal. She apologized, since it's due to her recklessness that's caused by Takamori. Nobody wants to eat her food. Wait a minute, they should just give it to Takamori. This will make him think that she'll be a terrible housewife. She then brings her dish to Takamori. If he's feeling hungry, he can eat her meal. He stares at her blankly. He takes off his hat and grabs a spoon. The others can't believe that he would actually eat it. He must be the bravest man on the planet. He chews on the curry and says that this is the most delicious curry that he ever had tasted in his life. What the heck is going on? Eating the food made by his crush is truly a blessing. Man, this Takamori guy is pretty amazing. He noticed that his body is rejecting the food, but his mental state continues to think that it's delicious. Minami is worried that he might get a stomachache. However, he still thinks that the food is good, which completely shocked her. If she cooks anything, he'll definitely eat it. That's the deal. Minami begins to be embarrassed and says that she can cook better food for him in the future. She knows that it's a complete failure, but usually she isn't this bad at cooking. That's why he should stop forcing himself to eat it, just because she made it. Minami feels bad for him, so for next time, she'll cook something that he'll definitely like. Then his face lightens up. He wants to confirm if he was just hearing things. She says that she can't make anything too complicated, but then again, she's pretty mid when it comes to cooking. However, that just now is too much, because that curry could bring the plague. She wants to make it up for him, since she offered her dish despite knowing that it's not edible. Minami begins to worry if Takamori is doubtful of her cooking abilities. He grabs her hand and says that he's happy to taste her dish. He wants to eat all her meals from now on. Minami begins to see stars again. She wants to make it obvious that he's holding her hands, and he apologizes. Now, what type of dish should she make him? This made her imagine that he's cooking for her husband, which caused her mind to break. No way, does he mean it like that? It's way fast for her to cook for a boy. The others are curious as to what the two are doing. At this moment, this is the start of a new romantic relationship.